So, next player that we're going to talk about, and this player here is the one where it gets spicy for me, right? For me, it gets spicy. And it's probably going to get spicy in the chat. And we're going to have a good lengthy conversation, I believe, about this one. Because this player, to me, I believe he has the tools, right? Let's just keep it off here. I think he has the tools to be successful. I think it's there, right? The problem with me is availability. That's my issue, number one, right? Availability is my issue with this dude. And number two, it's the archetype of player that he is at the position that he is, right? So next player that we gonna bring up, Jakorian Bennett. Jakorian Bennett is the next one, man. Maybe final, but our next player that we'll talk about. Now, y'all let me know before I go into my tangent. How do we feel about Jakorian Bennett? Is it a dub or snub, man? Where are we at with JB? How do y'all feel? Is it a dub or is it a snub? Do y'all feel that he will have a good training camp? Do you feel like he's going to go ahead and show out, or you're not as confident? Do you see something on the horizon you don't like? Let me see what we on, man. Let me see what we on. Snub. Dub. Okay. One dub. Dub. Okay. Dub. Does he fit the scheme wants to row out there? We're going to talk about it. For me, this is the toughest one. This is the toughest one for me because, and I'll explain why it's tough for me. With Jakorian, I'm starting to be off the train of saying CB1. Now, this is personal opinion. I'm starting to be off the train of saying CB1. I'm starting to look at more Darian Porter and saying, well, I hope he becomes CB1, right? And reasons being, one, I have yet to see Jakorian Bennett play a full season of football. You say what you want, right? I understand that when he is on the field, we saw some good things, right? Now, we saw one season of shaky play, then we saw one season of good play. So now I gotta see what meets in the middle, right? In the third season. What's the true form? Is it what I saw last year, or is it what I saw a year prior? Right? So I have to figure that out. But in the 2 seasons that he's been with us, he has yet to play a full 17-game season. Yet. Me personally, it's very hard for me to say, yeah, I'm just going to immediately slot dude Buddy in as CB1, and I know for a fact he's missing the last 4 to 5 games. Right? Like, I cannot do that. Now, some people are going to say, well, injuries are a part of the game. And they are. But at the end of the day, bro, the best ability is what? I think we all know the answer to that. The best ability is availability, bro. And you say what you want, bro. I can't have my CB1 missing the last 4 or 5 games of the year consistently year after year, bro. That's because that's when we have to make the push. Right? That's when we have to make playoff pushes. That's when we got to catch our rhythm. Right? Get into mode to get into January and shit. But looking at it, bro, and I looked at it. I looked at the data, trust me, of all the CB1s that missed time last year, top 10 corners in the league that missed time. Not a lot of them was missing games, dog. Not a lot of CB1s are missing games. It's just not happening. And why is that? Because they're very important to what the fuck you got to do. If week in and week out, you got to go through these receivers, right? Week in, week out, you got to go through these receivers, bro. Now, some of you can say, oh, it's not a big deal if he misses the last 4 or 5 games of the year. It's really not a big deal. Okay, look at our last 4 to 5 games this year, and you tell me if it's a big deal or not. The last 4 to 5 games of this year, I'll be damned if my starting corner ain't out there. this year, and some of y'all talking about playoff pushes. See, and this is where, like, I feel like sometimes as a fan base, we get hypocritical when it comes to certain players because we bend the eye and we bend the look, right? It always, when Pete was getting hired and Pete came in here, everybody was like, yeah, bro, Pete likes to compete. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody is in competition for their job. That's what we love about Pete. But when it comes to the players they like, well, not him, though. I mean him. He ain't got to compete, though. Not him. What you mean? Right? If we said Pete liked to compete, then everybody liked to fucking compete. That's what it is. So a cornerback that's, and let's keep this in mind, is not available every year for the last 4 or 5 games and is dealing with an injury right now and is not really on the field, is supposed to immediately get the starting spot just like that, right? And keep in mind, what did I just say about Michael Mayer and some of these other guys? This coaching staff don't know this man from a can of paint. They don't. We could be confident in all we want, but I don't know you. You ain't done nothing for me. If I'm Pete Carroll and I'm Spy Tech Dog, I just got here. You feel what I'm saying? We all checking the resumes together. Pete's checking his resume off. So is John. So is Jakorian. I got to see you do it now. And I can't immediately be like, oh, yeah, bro, he gets to start, because I saw what he did when Antonio Pierce, a coach that none of y'all really fucking like, but I saw him do that with Antonio Pierce, and immediately, bro, yeah, you're right. He just gets to start, when we know that this coach likes to compete. And we also know that they just drafted a dude this year that I would believe and I would imagine that they are hoping turns into that guy, right? Let's just keep it a bean. They're hoping that Darian Porter turns into that guy, which I think he can. And now let's break it down from the minute standpoint, right? And again, we always like to say this, and that about our principles of the team until it comes to certain players. Not only did we say Pete likes to compete, right? But again, what do we say about Pete and his type of corners? What type of corners do Pete like? What type of corners, man? I mean, we all know. What type of corners do Pete like? Now, when it comes to Jakorian Bennett, all of us said, not him. It don't matter. Right. Come on, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Jakorian Bennett is under 6 feet, I believe. Under 6 feet. Look at everybody else in the room. Look at everybody. Look at Darian Porter. Look at Eric Stokes. Look at DeCamerion Richardson, bro. What's the common denominator? Even look at the safeties. Common denominator is the size, right? It's the size. Now, Pete has drafted a corner of that size before, not too long ago. He drafted a corner of that size not too long ago, of the name of Devin Witherspoon, right? He drafted him, but where does Devin Witherspoon play? He don't play on the outside, right? He play on the slot. And the reason being is because Pete likes his outside corners lengthy. So the problem now seems to sit and say, now, if he comes into training camp and he starts blowing it up, of course, then it is what it is. But remember, there's a show we went through. We had Jakorian Bennett at slot. And that's where he was listed, right? On the, I believe, either ESPN roster or whatever roster it was. They had him listed as slot for a time. Got my ears ringing, right? Now I'm like, all right, I don't know how cool that would be, right? I don't know about that, but if we go into training camp and we hear more and more rumors and news about him being in slot, to me, that lets me know, like, the coaching staff trying to figure some shit out, right? Like, all right, bro, like, where is this dude good at? You feel what I'm saying? Now, that's just my opinion. All of this is strictly my opinion, right? Now, again, and y'all know I don't give a fuck. I can come out here and be wrong, and I'll come out here and tell y'all I was wrong. I don't care. It is what it is, bro. And again, most of the times, if I am wrong about certain topics and I'm scratching my head about something and it ends up that I'm wrong, is usually a good thing because we want the team to win, right? So I don't care if I got to come out here in front of the congregation and say that I was wrong. I don't give a damn. But a feeling, bro, is a feeling, right? We going on year 3. It's a different regime. You're not really available all the time, bro, right? It's a different maybe type of scheme that we're trying to run, and we know that the coaching staff has their preferences. So for me, It's hard. It's hard because even I'm not going to sit here and just slot like Eric Stokes above him either, right? Because Eric Stokes wasn't here last year either. And Eric Stokes got a fucking injury past his damn self. So can't just do that. And I'm for damn sure not just going to slot Cameron Richardson in front of him. You got me fucked up if you think I'm going to do that. I'm definitely not doing that. So it's very tough for me, right, to choose either dub or snub on this one. Oh. But to be honest with you, man, because I don't think he's practicing right now either, and he's just giving other guys who weren't on the squad time to really think about what they want to do as far as the scheme and understand the scheme, I'm going to go snub, bro. I'm going to go snub. It's a hard one, and it's a light snub, a very light snub. But it's the fact that he's not really practicing right now, bro, and he's giving – and this is a new scheme, new regime, right? He's not given any time to put impressions in, to really get out there with the system. Now, it could be nothing when he gets out there, with training camp for real, but we know he's nursing an injury still, right? So let's hope that don't linger. So let me see what y'all talking about, man. Dub might not start, though. I agree. Can't see JB in the slot. Hey, bro, and Huey, you know how we break it down, bro. Slot corner is way more physical than outside corner. And I'm already seeing you getting injured and missing time on the outside. So what the hell we think gonna happen on the inside, right? That's not, you know what I mean? We can't do that. Can't do that. Now, if he was good on the slot, hey, for damn sure, bro, that right there is going to help tremendously if he can be a good slot corner, but I don't see that either. And I don't think he's a good tackler, right? I don't think Jakorian Bennett is that great of a tackler. And you can't be playing in the slot if you can't tackle. That's definitely a no-go, right? That's definitely a no-go. JB is known as Mr. Glass in the building. Hey, bro, it's 2 years in a row. What the fuck am I supposed to say about that? It's like, it's crazy. When you bring up something that's that consistent, you're like, oh, man, certain people are going to tell you, like, bro, why are you bringing that up? What? What do you mean, why am I bringing that up, bro? It's been 2 straight years in a row. And again, y'all can say whatever you want, bro, about Rundown. There could be some people out here, man, I hate the way he talks, or well, I hate the way he does shit. It is what it is, bro. Not everybody going to like everybody. But what you're not going to say is that I'm not fair, right? That's what you're not going to say. I be damned. I come out here and say all that shit I said about Nate Hobbs and his injury past, and I won't come out here and say that about Jakorian Bennett. No, sir. Nobody skates. Nobody slides, bro. You feel what I'm saying? If you got an injury history that is then hindering the team, because if he was to get injured and he's our CB1 and we're going through all these games with these receivers that we got to play, and he's not available, that's hindering the team, right? And we know the dudes behind him are not good. That's fucking hindering the team. So, I'm going to for damn sure do it with everybody else. We're going to keep it fair. Raider D says, that's what I'm saying, brother. This is why I feel like we got to take a flyer on Ramsey. See, and this is the thing, bro. If we're talking about Jalen Ramsey, his chances, the snub goes up higher for me, right, for JB, if we acquire Jalen. The snub just goes up higher. Now, because then you for sure not getting on outside corner. That's not happening, right? If you get Jalen Ramsey, bro, JB got to count his days numbered on the outside corner position and try to get up in that slot, because you're not playing over Jalen Ramsey. That's not happening, right? And now you find yourself in a battle with a dude that they just drafted who I think has more physical tools than Jakorian Bennett, right? Has more physical tools. Now, I'm not going to say the coaching staff is going to prop Buddy up and be like, well, we want him to play because you would hope that they keep it fair, but let's keep it real, right? We just drafted this motherfucker in the 3rd round. Yeah, we kind of want this dude to work out low key, right? So there's that. Now you find yourself in a training camp battle with a dude that, yeah, we're not propping him up technically, but, like, come on, bro. My job for Spytech, his job on the line, my hit rate trying to be real. So you got them right. I want my 3rd round pick to play and to work out. Right now, if it just turns out that he's just that butt and JB's just that good where it's undeniable, and then at that point, yeah, sure, right? You do what you do, but I don't know. He no longer fits the prototype for these cornerbacks in this defense, and that is some of it. That's some of it. That's some of it. The best ability is that white powder there. That's that Raiders in the 70s. Raiders in the 70s was taking a bump and getting right at halftime, bro, going out there still whooping ass. We got to get back to that. JB is a CB2. I think that's the ceiling. To me, that's the ceiling, bro. I don't think CB1 talk can be had anymore, to be honest with you. Now, if everybody else is trash and he just proves that he's the best corner by default, if he's CB1, sure. But as of right now, is it going, bro? I don't think that's the hope in the building. I think the hope in the building is that Darian Porter, it becomes the guy. And whatever happens after that happens. You just let the cream rise to the top at that point. Agreed, SoCal. We had 2 CB2s last year, and Jack and JB, no true number 1. Agreed. Hey, our guy Raider Alex in the building, man. What's going on, big dog? Salute to you. Fire content as always, man, that you providing, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. And I saw you post this the other day. Definitely want to have a conversation about this. Hopefully we go after Mike Hilton at slot. I would like that. I think we need some type of veteran presence, bro, in this cornerback room, right? Just something veteran, because we're young as hell. We're young as hell in this cornerback room. A lot of young players in here, bro, that I think could benefit from somebody just teaching them the game, right? You feel what I'm saying? Showing them the ropes. Whether it be Jalen Ramsey, which if we got Jalen Ramsey, that's the perfect mentor for some of these guys in here. Or if it's a guy like Mike Hilton, right? Like Mike Hilton been around the block for a minute. So if he was to come out here and provide some veteran leadership to a young room, right? Hungry room, I like it too, bro. I like it too. Salute to the family, man. What's going on, man? Salute to my brother, man. Protect the shield in the building. Salute rundown, salute chat. Salute to my guy, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Marcos, I see you in the building. I do not know what that comment means, so I'm not going to pull it up. But at the end of the day, appreciate you for tapping in. But I don't know what belt you're referring to and who's getting it. So I'm definitely not fucking around with that comment. SoCal says, do you think decaffeinated Richardson sees the field? You know what, bro? I'm like our guy Dixon today, bro. I'm gonna feel optimistic. I want him to. I really want him to see the field and to work out. I really do. Now, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna have to do, bro. They're gonna have to fuck around and find some car oil to put on the hips or something so the motherfucker ain't so stiff. I don't know what they're gonna have to do, but something's gonna have to go down, right? Because I don't see that changing, but still, I want him to be on the field because I've said it all the time, bro. If him and Porter can work out, if him and Darian Porter can be those guys, bro, we'd have one of the biggest, fastest cornerback rooms in the league, bro. It would be nasty. We'd have one of the bigger secondaries, period, right? Because you look at our safeties too, bro. They're big. They're huge. Pause. But still, if I want him to, I'm not confident in it though. If I gun to my head and you're like, oh yeah, bro, you got to answer this right now. No. But I hope that changes. I do hope it changes. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Raiders DB coach says they're bringing Jakorian back slowly because of previous injury. And you know, Alec, I believe we talked about this on the Saturday show. Good morning, Raiders, man. I think we talked about this, bro, with our dog Jay and Dub. I don't like that, right? Well, the way that he sounded in the clip, the way that the DB coach sounded in the clip didn't provide me with any confidence. I'm like, oh yeah, Jakorian Bennett's gonna be ready to go when he touched down. It was just a lot of like, yeah, bro, we're bringing him along slow, like trying to get him so he gets a hold of the scheme and all that extra shit. But then when he started talking about Eric Stokes and Darian Porter, his goddamn eyes lit up. He started smiling and shit. So that's where I say, like, I don't know. reading the body language, reading the tea leaves. But hopefully, coming to training camp, and it don't matter, bro. It don't matter.